Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I turned myself into Emily from Corpse Bride. This was one of the longer ones that I've done, but it was so worth it, so I'm going to show you guys my thought process. This is my reference photo for today. I always like to have one. If I can't find one, I'll draw one. For brows, I'm going to take some black Athena face paint on a liner brush, and I'm going to kind of draw my eyebrows on in an S shape to create that upset, frowny type of look. And then because we're using a cream face paint, I'm going to go over it with some translucent setting powder to make sure it doesn't smudge or transfer. On a mixing palette, I'm going to mix some blue face paint in with some white face paint to create Emily's skin tone, and I'm going to use that to carve out my eyebrows. I'm using a smaller flat brush for this because I want them to be really sharp. I want them to be carved out really precisely. Once I've done doing the underneaths, I'm going to do the same thing but on the top of my eyebrows. Now, using a liner brush, I'm going to sketch out two little semicircles underneath my eyes, and we're not going to put any blue face paint near here. This is going to be where one of her eyes goes, and then where that socket where her eye is missing is, and the worm's coming out. I would also like to stress that I am in fact wearing a top. It's just strapless because I'm going to be painting my chest. I'm going to start with a smaller brush, the same one that we used for eyebrows, and I'm basically just going to go around where I drew those lines. This is just going to be easier than if I was to use a bigger brush. I've got more control. Now I'm going to get a slightly bigger brush and I'm going to start to drag it all the way down my neck and chest. Also, no, I do not have a neck tattoo. This was very much fake. I have way too much time on my hands and it was a bit of fun. Honestly, I'd low-key forgotten about it up until when I started to film this video, at which point it was a bit too late to scrub it off, so instead I just decided to cover it. Moving on, once I'm happy that everywhere is evenly covered with the face paint, I'm going to take a foundation brush and I'm going to start to stamp it out into my skin and blend it out even more. We really don't want this to look like face paint. We want it to look like our natural skin. We want to look like we are naturally blue. And then again, once I'm satisfied, I'm going to go in with more of that translucent setting powder on quite a big fluffy brush so that we can cover all surfaces easier. A lot of the time, I will also go in with a smaller brush under my eyes and in the spaces that I can't get to with the bigger brush, just to make sure everywhere's set. Using some white, I like the Made by Mitchell colour case because it dries down and it will not move. And I'm going to start to fill in the space we made for her eye. On the other eye, I'm going to take some black and I'm going to start to fill it in. This is going to be the socket from where her eye keeps falling out, and we're going to have a little worm coming out of it. Right now, I'm just going to kind of get a rough idea of the shape I want, and then once I'm happy with it, I'm going to go in with a thinner brush and I'm going to outline it to make it look more clean. Using a really thin detail brush, I am also going to underline where her actual eye is going to go. This is just going to add more dimension and make it look more 3D. Using some black eyeshadow, I'm going to quickly sketch out a rough idea for a cut crease, and I'm going to start to blend it up towards my eyebrow. Once I'm happy, I'm going to slowly start to blend in some darker blue eyeshadow, and again, I'm taking this quite high, but I will never take it right up to my actual eyebrow. I will always leave even the tiniest bit of a gap. And in that little gap that I've left, I'm going to place some silver shimmer and highlight my brow bone. Using the dark blue from my Made by Mitchell colour case, I'm going to start to cut my crease. I really like this product for creative eyeshadow looks like this because it's a cream to powder formula, which means it's going to dry down waterproof wherever you put it. The black kept creasing and it was really bothering me, so I went over it with some black eyeshadow, and I also decided to shade around the circle to make it look like my face was more sunken in. I'm quickly just going to finish off the other eye by tapping some blue glitter onto my lid. For some reason I really wanted this look to be very glittery and shimmery. With that side pretty much done for now, I can move on to the other eye and start to add in more of the details like the worm. And to do this again, I'm using the green out of the Made by Mitchell colour case. I'm also going to use his black shade to outline the worm and add more details. I'm going to start to add the little lines that go down the worm's body with the same palette, but I'm using a darker green this time. I did end up drawing the rest of his face off camera because I was looking at a reference photo because I wanted it to be as accurate as I could get it. Using a darker blue eyeshadow, I'm going to start to contour my face, and I'm going to take it all the way down to my chin to make my face appear more sunken in. Using more of the black from Made by Mitchell, I'm going to draw on some fake lashes around her eye. I'm also going to use it to just add some normal eyeliner as well. I'm not going to do anything dramatic, I'm not even going to add a wing. I'm also going to start to add the butterflies, and to do that I'm going to start by sketching them out really roughly. It's going to look really funky until I start to add all the details. Once I'm somewhat satisfied with the shape of the butterflies, I'm going to start to fill them in with some of that same blue that we used on our eyes. And then once I'm happy with that, I'm going to go back in with the black to really start to define the butterfly. And then I am also going to tap some more glitter over it because, like I said, I really wanted this to be glittery for some reason. And then I am going to just repeat that process for the butterfly on my chest as well. I'm going to start by sketching it out, filling it in, adding the glitter, and then doing the details around the edge. To make my nose look as close to Emily's as I could, I contoured down either side of it in black eyeshadow, and I also contoured like a little semicircle towards the tip of my nose. I also added two little black triangle shapes near my nostrils to make her nose look really upturned. Moving on to lips, I'm going to start by lining them up with more Made by Mitchell. And then filling them in with some bright pink. I also tapped some pink glitter over the top of my lips as well because, again, I really wanted glitter in this look. This was a nightmare to get off from around my lip piercing. Carrying on with the theme of putting glitter absolutely everywhere, I decided to add some into the black hole as well. For a dress, I started off by drawing it on in white face paint. Once I had filled it in and set it in place, I went around it with some black eyeliner and also shaded it in around the edges to make it look more 3D. I also added a lot of blue eyeshadow onto the actual dress that I had drawn because obviously in the movie her dress has a lot of blue accents. All I had left to do at this point was fake eyelashes. Before I did that, I went in with a thin layer of mascara just so they stuck better. I say this all the time, but if you struggle to put eyelashes on, put the glue on your lash line and I promise they'll go on so much easier. And that is it for the makeup portion. Let me go and add my last few finishing touches and I shall show you the final product. Hey guys, so this is the finished makeup. This has taken me all day. Legit, I think I started at around 11 o'clock in the morning. It's currently 20 to 7. That's how long I've been at it. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you were thoroughly entertained by me painting myself blue. This isn't going to come off easy and I'm at the end of my cleansing balm, so wish me luck. If you would like to see me paint myself more stupid colours, please do like and subscribe because that tends to be a reoccurring theme over here. Let me know what other characters you'd like me to transform into and I shall get to work. Until next time, I'm going to go jump in the shower. Bye guys.